What's up, everybody? Durkey Turkey here, coming at you with more Dick with Butt news. I am actually going to be having a much more serious conversation with you. No memes today, goddammit. No memes. Only serious, high-octane alpha. Alright, are you ready for this fucking shit? Let's fucking do this. Alright, let's get right the fuck into it. I'm going to be talking about these three major points. 1, 2, 3. 3 points. Well, really what it is it's 3 months that lead into like this bullishness and what we're going to see moving into this bull market. Not necessarily that we're going to see green candles at this moment, but these things are going to be determining factors as to kind of how the market behaves while we go up. So let's just dive right into it. Let's take a look at it. So as you can see right here, here's the Dick with Butt price chart. And to be honest, this pretty much goes for all of crypto. Any meme coin you can really do this with. Let me show you what the fuck I'm talking about and get into more detail as to like my thinking on this as someone who's been in crypto for like 12 fucking years, okay? I've been in crypto for 12 fucking years. So this is my take on the market and what I've seen and what I think it's going to do based on what I've seen before. So first thing we have is September. Now September is two things. Number one, we have the Ethereum ETF inflow. Like this is like the moment because the Ethereum ETF was July, so or end of July, I believe. It took about 40 to 60 days for the Bitcoin ETF to actually start to move the Bitcoin price. So if we have something similar to that with Ethereum, you would expect something to happen around, you know, mid, maybe end September, maybe even beginning of September. I'm not holding my breath on that, though. There's a lot of different things that could come out of this. Here's the first thing. Number one, ETH is not Bitcoin. Okay, ETH is not Bitcoin, so could it take longer? Could it take less time? Could nothing happen at all? I don't know. The thing is that Bitcoin is actually very well known by a lot of people that are outside of crypto. I actually remember I went to a family gathering and we were fucking all sitting there and we were talking about stuff, and then one of them brought up, because I had mentioned some stuff that I was doing, and I had mentioned the merge, the Ethereum merge back in 2022, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, what is that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's crypto." And they're like, "Oh, so Bitcoin?" I'm like, "No, so this is this thing. It's called Ethereum, right?" And I'm telling them about Ethereum, and they're like, "What's Ethereum?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute. I'm early. These motherfuckers don't know what Ethereum is." You have to understand, the majority of people that are outside of crypto don't even fucking know what Ethereum is. Like, they don't fucking get it. So, when I'm talking about, like, this Ethereum ETF, maybe it comes, maybe it doesn't, maybe people catch on to it or don't. It depends. It depends. And, of course, I just wanted to show you, this is the price chart of Bitcoin. And so if we look here, right in this beginning part, I believe it was January 18th. So somewhere around in here, we didn't actually start to take off until, you know, a month to 2 months later. So it took us some time. And as a matter of fact, we actually dipped after the launch of the Bitcoin ETF. So a lot of different things could happen. We are playing out very similar to how the Bitcoin ETF played out. So could something similar happen with the Ethereum ETF? Yeah, absolutely. You know, because we did have that, you know, massive run up in the beginning because everyone was anticipating it, and then we dumped right after, and we've been dumping. We dumped a good amount. Now that we're making this V-shaped recovery, could we start to climb up? I don't know. That's all speculation. Now, the other thing, and I'm just going to cover this very briefly because a lot of people are like, how do you not care about the FOMC meeting? How do you not care about the next, you know, the rate hike or whatever they're doing over there? Here's the thing. And I want you to understand this. I don't normally care about these things. I mean, I do care, but like, here's the thing. I want the fucking cliff notes. I don't actually fucking care. I don't want to sit through it. I don't care what they fucking pick. Most of the time, this shit's already priced the fuck in. Like, I'm pretty sure that the market has priced this meeting in, and maybe we pump a tiny bit on that day, but for the most part, unless if something massive fucking happens, I don't see anything coming out of this. Now for one of everyone's favorites is October. So October, specifically, I think it's October 26th, I believe it is. We have the Richard Hart court case. They're going to be doing something with that. Supposedly there's going to be some like ruling, or like they're going to come to some sort of an agreement, but you don't know that. I'm not a professional. I'm not like a legal professional. I know nothing of the law. I'm in a banana suit wearing a fucking Luigi hat. Okay? I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going to come out of this. My hope, after seeing all of these fucking, other court cases get excused or dismissed or whatever the fuck, I can't see them actually, going through with it and sticking out. Like, just fuck Richard. Like, I can't see them doing that. Maybe. It is a slightly different, case. A lot of these people, they're being, it's these projects, and they're like, oh, it's unregistered securities. They're trying to get Richard for literally buying, like, Louis Vuitton bags. Like, it's a little different, but not much. I don't think they have anything. And the thing is you can prove on chain that nothing happened. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. It could be a very, I'm rooting and really thinking and really hoping that it's a good outcome, that he beats the SEC. Maybe he gets back to streaming. I'm not even counting on him coming back to streaming, but like, whatever happens, hopefully he wins. But yeah, there is always that, case where he loses. And then in that case, what happens then? Well, I think we all know what's going to happen then. But then, of course, there's the one thing that I don't think enough people talk about, and that is, what if nothing comes out of this? What if they delay it and they're like, we need more time to think about it? Because I could totally see them doing something like that, where they're just like, fuck it. Like, I don't know. Maybe something comes out of it. Maybe something doesn't. It doesn't. Unless if they come up with a definitive, answer during this will or will not be something of importance. Like, if they come up with an answer, like if he's guilty or not, then it's important. If they don't, then it's not an important moment. And then, of course, we have November. Now, November, this is kind of the point where I really want people to focus on. Well, number one, it's interesting because a lot of the time these huge parabolic bull cycles, they correlate slightly with the presidential election, which I think is really weird. So check this out. Elon Musk fucking did a goddamn poll. Trump or Kamala, who would you vote for? And Trump won by a fucking landslide. Holy shit. Anyway, you can fucking take this however you want. Now, here's the thing. I know that I like Trump, and I know that a lot of people know that I like Trump. And here's the thing. What I posted on Twitter the other day that got me banned was for posting about how if you basically vote for Kamala, you're fucked. Like, you're totally fucked. Especially if you hold crypto. But here's the fucking thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't usually fucking matter who's the president and who isn't. Bitcoin still does well regardless. It did well under Barack. It did well under Trump. It did well under Biden. It doesn't matter. It actually fucking doesn't. It doesn't matter who's president, because no matter what, it always follows this cycle of the 4-year cycle. And no matter what, we always have those 4-year cycles so far. That could change hypothetically, but I still really believe that 4-year cycle is in play. If Trump wins, I think that that's really good. I think that'll bring like a lot of growth in the crypto community, and I think that a lot of people will be more willing to get into it. And under Kamala, I just feel like she's going to restrict it a lot more, even though she says she's not going to. I don't believe that. You got to take what they say, and it's like what they're doing and what they're saying are completely different. Trump has his own NFT collection. Kamala doesn't care. Like, Kamala hasn't been around in the community. She's trying to, like, shove her foot in the door and be like, hey, let me in, guys. And it's like, no, fuck you. Like, you were calling us losers, like, last year. Like, I don't see anything good coming out of Kamala, but at the end of the day, even if she does win, I don't think overall that's a terrible thing for the market. I think it could stunt it, but I don't think it'll cause it to completely not go up. And of course, finally, we have the Bitcoin rainbow chart. We have the 4-year fucking cycle. Okay, and I want you guys to look at this because this is probably the most important thing. This is the most important thing, and this is actually what I'm going to talk to you guys about is future things to look forward to and to look at. So when you look at the previous cycle, right, we had our halving around like May. That sounds about right, like May 13th. And this year it was around April. So like it was like a month difference, right? So we had it in May last time. And it took us until, see, look, we're sitting in August, which is like right about here. And August was just kind of meh. And then you will go into September, and September is kind of meh. And then you get into October, and October is kind of going up tiny bit, like a tiny bit. And then you get into fucking November. And in November, we are actually breaking all-time high. Into December, we're breaking all-time high. So November, December, that November specifically, that is where like it popped off the most. Now, because we were a month early, maybe we see that end of October. I don't know. Maybe we don't see it till late November. There is also talk that we may have already hit that parabolic bull run because, I mean, look at this. No other time during the halving has things really ramped up. Well, like right here, it ramped up because people knew that the halving was coming. It kind of ramped up here a little bit, but not quite as much as this. This was like a massive ramp up. And I honestly, I don't, maybe it was, people front running the fact that there was going to be the 4-year market, but I think that more had to do with the Bitcoin ETF than anything. There is a lot of things that make this time different. A lot of things that make it different. I don't think it's different enough. I still think that the 4-year cycle is going to play out. I still think that, October, November, because if you look at this previous time, that was when we started to rocket up. And then, of course, everyone remembers, Richard's famous call around, I think it was March or April. This was kind of that high, right? And then we dipped for the summer, and then we came back up in the fall. So could we see something like that this time? Could we see something where it's like, oh, maybe we go up into this yellow zone here, and or maybe a little bit beyond that, just barely touching this like light orange, getting into that like 100,000 range, maybe, could we see that? Yeah, because we see these diminishing gains as we continue to go up. And of course, what does that mean for things like Dick with Butt, other meme coins on Pulse Chain, other meme coins in general? Now, one thing that I didn't talk about that is also a big play, and that is the sacrifice address. There is a website now that you can go to that allows you to track Richard's sacrifice wallet. So here you can see, this is like the Richard Heart sacrifice address, like the Pulse Chain sacrifice address. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's Richard Heart, but let's be honest, that's what most people think, is that it's Richard Heart. Now, if you can see this, he's down a lot of money on it. Could that change in the future? I think so. I think Ethereum has the potential to hit $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in this bull run. Maybe more, maybe a lot more. I don't know. But here's the thing. If he were to rotate this money into Pulse Chain, that would be a big thing. But the thing is I'm not betting on him doing anything until that court case gets resolved. I don't think he's able to do anything until that court case gets resolved. If he makes massive moves, that could make or break his case. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do with that money until that gets resolved. And like I said already, that might not get resolved in October. That might continue to move on. Hopefully it gets resolved in October, but I'm not holding my breath. He's also not streaming. He's tweeting a little bit, but he's not really tweeting about things like, oh, look at how much up Pulse Chain is, or how much up Hex is. Like, Hex and Pulse Chain are all down. A lot of people made money and then lost a lot of money, so there's nothing to really brag about. So the old Richard isn't really there, which kind of sucks. And he's not streaming. I think that's the biggest thing. It's kind of like what I was talking about the other day with Sami. Like, he can't be the only person in Pulse Chain that's doing stuff. You guys, we all need to come together as a community to do shit to pump it. We can't rely on Sack Daddy to fucking pump our bags. Like, but if it were to happen, hey, that's great. And of course, if it pumps up because of liquidity, everything would fucking pump up. But who's to say when the fuck that's gonna happen? Who's to say if that's gonna happen here? Who's to say if it's gonna happen here? Who's to say it doesn't fucking happen way off in the distance, way into like the next year? You know what I mean? Like, way beyond the next year, like the next year. Who the fuck knows when he's gonna deploy that, if ever at all? I'm not banking on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not banking on anything, but it would be fucking sweet. So what do I think about Dick with Butt? So with Dick with Butt, as far as these three major points are concerned, and then Sack Daddy and all of that, the Bitcoin and everything. Well, because of liquidity, everything should go up. But I think that there's more to it with Dick with Butt. I think that Dick with Butt is a really sticky meme. Yes, it's immature, but that's kind of the point of it. I mean, you have to think about it. We're on a chain where literally it's named after a sex joke. I forget exactly what it is. I did watch the stream a long time ago. I don't remember what it is. If you want to remind me of what it is, go ahead and comment down below. But I know that it was named after a fucking sex joke. So it makes sense to have, one of the most popular memes on Pulse Chain be kind of, a dick butt, right? And I honestly, I do, I don't use them, but I do think that, 9inch definitely also captures, like, that feel as well as, like, the meme culture on Pulse Chain. I mean, think about it. You have Richard Hart, the founder, who is dressing up in Louis Vuitton. He's got a court case, the SEC is fucking after him. The government is after him. And he's making dick jokes and posting about twerking and, fuck you, and calling all these people idiots and shit like that. He's like a rapper, you know what I mean? He's catering to like this degen style of people. And like I've said before in the past, everyone's like, well, we gotta, a lot of people, they've talked to me and it's like, well, we gotta inboard, these serious investors. And it's like, they'll come because they're gonna see that the market is degens. You know what I mean? Like, Las Vegas, they're not targeting necessarily, like, people that are, like, high profile. They're targeting people who want to gamble their money. They're targeting, the general public. They're targeting, delinquents, basically. They're not you'll capture some people like that with that as well. But they're not going after necessarily suit and ties. They're going after anyone who has a buck that wants to gamble. And so with Dick with Butt, I think that it's sticky. I think that it's funny. I think that it's easily memeable. And I think that it gets people's attention a lot better than other things. So that's really, does it grab someone's attention right away? Does it make someone laugh right away? Because if you can make someone laugh, that sticks with someone. You know what I mean? That sticks with them mentally. Instead of, not making them laugh. Because if it's just another animal coin, or if it's just another, whatever, that doesn't stick out in their memory. If it makes them laugh, they remember it. And I think that Dick with Butt makes people laugh. Regardless if you think, oh, no, it's immature. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make you laugh. What matters is, does it make the majority of people laugh? And yes, it does. And I think it grabs people's attention. That's really what it is. And I think that because of that, people will come over here, they'll see it, and they'll be like, oh, Dick with Butt. That's funny. And look at all of these other meme coins, that have come out, like you have like the Harry Potter Obama Sonic Inu 10 token, you have Shiba Inu, you have Dogecoin. All these coins started off super small, like super microscopically fucking small. I remember when a lot of these came out, and it's like they started and like no one really got into them because they were too small and people were like, it's gonna die. And some of them did. Some of them actually died off for a while and didn't come back till way later on. So this could be one of those cases where it's like, maybe, if you draw it out, maybe we sit here for a while. And then, of course, a lot of the times in these parabolic bull runs, a lot of stuff doesn't start to shoot off until way after Bitcoin has shot off. Like Hex didn't start to go up until after Bitcoin broke like 65,000 in April or May of 2021. Hex didn't start to go off until after that point. So maybe Dick with Butt really starts to take off in the summer. Maybe Pulse Chain really starts to take off in the summer. Or not this summer, but next summer. You don't know. It's a waiting game. It is a time game. It's a game of chicken. Like, how long can you hold your bags? Like, the last person to dump their bags is the winner. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. Just hold out. Just wait. Be patient. I feel like Dick with Butt will do fine in this market. And that's pretty much it. Just giving you guys my thoughts on what those 3 points mean, because there were a couple questions on like what I think about those things and what's going on at those points. It's not necessarily that there's going to be green candles at those points. It's just there are moments in the market that I would look at. Like, it's just things going on that I think people should pay attention to, especially if you're looking into Pulse Chain. Like, those are 3 things that are 3 key moments in time that I think are going to affect the market. Not necessarily stop the market from growing or cause a red candle or cause a green candle, but I think in the future will either, it could make things go more parabolic or less parabolic. But I think everything as a whole will go parabolic because of the 4-year cycle. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, everything down below. Show me you guys want this fucking content. Show me the fucking love, baby. And of course, as fucking always, none of this is financial advice. Do your own fucking research. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.